My name is Randy Bowling and I work for Equalizer Systems. And today the component we're going to talk about is the Equalizer Systems hydraulic pump. So on our Equalizer Systems hydraulic pump, you will see our 8 hoses hooked to the top. Now on some of our pumps we have 6 hoses hooked to the top of the pump. We'll have 2 for retract and 4 for extend. On this one we have 4 for retract and we have 4 for extend. Now, a couple of places that the pump can leak is you see the connections on the top of the pump. These are 90-degree fittings that have a nut and a washer, and beneath that washer there's an O-ring. So it could leak in between the O-ring and the top of the manifold. Another place it could leak is in between the hose fitting and the 90-degree fitting, which is a JIC fitting. Another place that the hydraulic pump can leak is on the manifold. You have these purge couplers on the front of it. These couplers are designed to hook up a purge cart at the manufacturer to help purge air from the system. Now on the end of these purge nipples, they're spring loaded. And every now and then, one of these springs will get a little weak and you'll get fluid coming down from it. Now if you have that situation happen, you basically can take this purge coupler out, and on this back side of the manifold you'll see where there's just a plug. You can actually put a plug in place of a purge nipple. Another component that could possibly leak is right here on the side of the manifold is your pressure switch. Now in between your pressure switch and the manifold there's an O-ring as well. So it could leak right there at the O-ring. So to check that, all you have to do, or to replace that, all you have to do is fully extend the jacks like we are now, and you can remove the pressure switch and then reinstall a new one, because there's no pressure on the retract side of the manifold when all the jacks are extended. One of the points that it could leak from is the actual motor. Now I know this is a 12-volt electric motor, but sometimes what will occur is there's an input shaft seal on the pump. If that shaft seal goes bad, what will happen is fluid will actually get inside of this electric motor. And when fluid gets inside of this electric motor, it will burn the motor out. How to tell if you've got fluid inside the electric motor is the bottom bolt on the pump, you will see signs of fluid, or you'll actually have a leak coming out of the end of the pump motor. And if that happens, what you'll need to change is the pump itself. And what we mean by the pump is the motor, the pump, and the reservoir tank. You don't have to change the manifold, the valves, the hoses, nothing like that, just the pump itself. Another point to look at for leaks is the reservoir tank. Now on the reservoir tank, there's 2 different places it could leak from. It could leak from this side plug, or it could leak from the black plastic up against the pump itself. There's an O-ring that goes around there to seal that. If that O-ring is bad, it will leak in between the reservoir tank and the pump. Or you'll see a leak on this side plug. Another component that could possibly leak is the valve itself. Now if a valve leaks, you'll actually get fluid out of the very end of the valve. Now for the valve, you can actually, to change it, you just take the nut off the end of the valve, you slide the coil off, and you can actually see the 7/8 inch nut that is attached to the valve. And to replace it, you just remove the valve by turning it counterclockwise and then installing a new valve. Now if the jacks are fully retracted, you have no pressure on the valve side of the manifold, so it makes it easy to change and you don't have the fluid mess. So if you have any other questions about our hydraulic pump or leaks, please visit us at equalizersystems.com.